What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I have another episode of Custom Showcase for you guys today, and it is none other than one of the top prospects in all of NXT, Sol Ruca. So let's get right on into it. Alright, so I'm pretty sure you noticed that the surfboard's up here. Apparently she's a big surfer. It's part of her gimmick, or it's part of her real life personality too, but I'll take that away. That was there for just photography purposes. But let's get into this awesome custom. Now, before we do a full breakdown on the formula and the parts and everything used for it, I had my buddy Mike at Alpha Action Figs paint this up for me. As you guys know, I use him a lot. Go follow him on Instagram. If you go look at my recent post on Instagram, she is up there. He is tagged. The more the merrier. You got to share the love and spread the love and help your buddies grow so they can do their own things with their channels and their accounts. But for this awesome Sol Ruca figure, I'm going to tell you guys the formula. Now, it's a little bit of a weird one. It's not one you would really think. It is a Elite Top Picks Ronda Rousey base body. Now, the head and the hair were the toughest part. I couldn't find a standard blonde head sculpt that would work. I couldn't find a face that I really liked, so I just started digging around in my fodder bin, and I came across the Elite 65 Ronda Rousey, the one that comes in her promo gear and the table and the contract and everything. So I took the head from that. And the reason that I chose the head for that one is because Sol Ruca actually, like, one, she smiles a lot, and she just seems to be an all-around positive person. And when she smiles a lot, she has high cheekbones. So that is one reason for picking the Ronda Rousey head sculpt. And honestly, I think that's pretty much all the thought that went into it. The hairpiece is originally purple. You can see very little paint chipping on her left side of her head, or our right side. And it is from a Sasha Banks figure. Now, I don't have a full version of it, but it is from a battle pack. And it says Sasha Banks here with the green attire. It was originally the purple hair. He didn't paint the underside of it to prevent paint chipping, but this is the figure I used. This is the hair sculpt I used, at least, to make Sol Ruca's curly hair, because there aren't many curly hair sculpts out there, which is kind of weird. But other than that, the knee pads also came from that Sasha Banks figure. They were painted to match the gear. This is kind of like, I call it her beach ball gear. I mean, it's just what I personally call it. I wanted to make sure all my customs going forward have double jointed arms, except for two of my upcoming ones, because I just didn't have the parts for it at the time. But we used that Sasha Banks hair, we used that Ronda Rousey head, and we used, like I said, the Top Picks Ronda Rousey body. Now, we'll get up close and we will look. I love the look. He did like a metallic green, a metallic pink. It's a flat blue with like hints of metallic green. It's kind of like a green pearlescent in there. Very, very light work though, so it's not like in your face. The white looks good. I know it's hard to paint white. The orange looks good. Has the matching wrist tape to carry on out through the figure. On the back, as you see, I'm not going to move the head up because I'm going to explain that part to you a little bit. But the knee pads, I don't know if they originally came this metallic green. I don't think they would on a basic figure. So he touched it up there. The knee pads match the gear. This kind of matches the shoes that she wears. This is the closest I could get to them. He added some detailing to make them pop even more. But if you're going to make this custom, I have one strong recommendation. Get ready to be patient. This head sculpt does not fit on the thick neck peg of Ronda Rousey's new Elite figure. It is an absolute pain. Also, the head peg, the hole on the inside of that head is very, very, very small compared to other figures, and it kind of blew my mind when I originally saw it. Like, there's no room for any type of adjustments with that head. So, as you see here, you have a lot of room to work with on the inside of the Drew McIntyre head. If you take that inner hole, you had less space than that to work with. I really and truly don't know how they even got the head on the old figure. It was a pain. And this custom was actually completed about a month ago, and it took me some time to figure out how exactly I was going to fix the head because it sat way too high. She literally had like giraffe syndrome going on. So what I did was I drilled out almost the entirety of the head, and it still wasn't enough. It's so ridiculous. Then I started taking a Dremel and started shaving down the top part of the neck. As you would see, I'll show you on Drew McIntyre once again. I started shaving down this part of the neck because it was too wide on that body for the head. So we're having to deal with the head. We're having to deal with this. Also, the ball was too big. I had to cut the ball joint down to the shape of, I think it's like just a standard diamond shape, honestly. It's so ridiculous, all that I had to do to it. And then it still didn't work. So I had to go, I took an X-Acto knife, because it's really all you can do at that point, chopping down the back of the neck, chopping down the side and the front, but you had to make it look so it wasn't ridiculously altered. And I think I did a pretty good job. I mean, you see the head still sits a little high on the figure, but there's not much else I could really and truly do about that. Besides just having a complete, like, empty head, and then it's not going to sit on there, and it's going to require nothing but tack to sit on there, which I guess is also an option. But needless to say, this custom was a lot more difficult than it should have been. I know the painting wasn't too bad on Mike's part, but my God, figuring out how to get the head to sit on the neck properly was an absolute pain. I don't have any women's figures besides the Sasha sitting beside. Well, I have this one, but it's not going to really help with like height comparisons because I don't have many NXT women figures. But that is her stacked up next to Ruby Soho, and I think this scales really well. She's tall, but she's not like Sheamus compared to Rey Mysterio tall. I think she looks very good standing up to other figures, and it is just now time for me to make a custom NXT Women's Championship because I do not have one, but they're coming out with the new side plate, the new main plate with the Braun Breaker figure. So I'm going to have to wait for that, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this custom. I thought the surfboard was a nice little additive to it. It's got some paint scuffing. I bought this used from somebody a few years ago, honestly. But, I mean, it does what it needs to do. It looked great for the purpose of the picture. And also, at the time of recording, she has actually posted this on her Instagram story, which is actually, like, that never gets old in the figure community. It's really amazing feeling. But that is going to be it for today. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and last but not least, take it easy. Thanks.